Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully it's going well. Long time no see, as per usual these days. That's good to be back. Good to be here. Finally not getting destroyed. For the moment. For the moment. How's life for y'all? Things have been very interesting here with the fluid issues that we talked about last time. And if you're not familiar with that, basically there was a huge manufacturing plant of IV fluids in North Carolina that got destroyed in the Hurricane Helene. And so now everywhere in the US has to deal with an IV fluid shortage, which is a huge deal because like literally every patient in the hospital gets IV fluid. So yeah, that's kind of coming to bite us. It's been fun. We're starting out some, you know, conservational methods, and that's gonna go sort of full bore next week. But people are already kind of losing their minds, so not super looking forward to that, but we'll see how it goes. Everybody's kind of already like stocking up meds and stuff. Like what we're gonna do is basically send everybody to the operating room just with an IV that's like capped off and no running fluids. And I think the oh, what am I doing? I think the functional outcome of this will be to like basically just take fluid management out of the pre-op nurse's hands, which is a good thing because it's like sometimes the patients sit there for a long time and just have a bunch of fluid run in for no particular reason, and that's not great. So we'll save resources there at least. But it's not a clear-cut win because we still have to, like, most people are gonna get fluid, so it's not like we're just gonna not use fluid for these people. I think they originally wanted us to just flush meds in, like you can buy these little like 10 mil syringes of saline, and I think they wanted us to just like give meds and flush them in with that, which is just a terrible idea and like logistically impossible. And we would never do that anyway, but still, they're gonna expect us to do that. And when I say they, I mean like administration is gonna expect us to do that for, you know, some amount of our cases, which is not great. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough ride for a little bit. So basically, we're just responsible for starting the fluids on everybody, and I think we're gonna end up with a lot of IVs that are like clotted off or just plain don't work. That we don't find out until we get into the operating room. That is my pessimistic prediction.
Come see what's left of my wares. Put it to good use.
So I hope that I'm wrong, but we'll see, like I said. So that's going down. We've already started that in a couple areas, like in the quick procedure areas, like where people are getting like GI work done, or like an echo of their heart. Yeah, they already just come with an IV that's capped instead of fluids, which sucks, but those are the ones that we can like make it work more than anything. Okay, I need to be going to Malmouth. How do I get to Malmouth? I have forgotten. let's read, shall we? Oh, that's the character. Crown Hill Rift. Oh, do you go through Barrowholm? Ravager of Souls. Awesome. I love that. Okay, I guess I haven't gone to the forest on this yet. Maybe I should do that. Why don't we do that? And this is Burwich. So yeah, I'm not super optimistic that this fluid restriction thing is gonna work out very well. And we're trying to figure out, like, so one of the proposed solutions is that we have patients basically drink more, like loosen the guidelines for when you can and can't drink before having surgery. So that's always an interesting proposition because people don't really follow rules very well most of the time. So like you can tell them don't eat or, you know, don't drink anything 2 hours before your procedure, and they're like, oh well, I just drank some coffee with cream, and so the thing is you can't have like fat and cream because that stays in your stomach. So purge the barrier. So like the idea behind NPO, they call them NPO guidelines, so like nil per os is what NPO means. Which, you know, essentially is not eating or drinking anything. The idea is that you want your stomach to be empty, because when you're asleep, like when you're under general anesthesia, then you lose most of your reflexes. That includes your gag reflex. So if you like reflux stuff, if you get like an acid burp or something while you're asleep, then you can't gag and like swallow that back down, as gross as that sounds. But it's way better to swallow it than put it in your lungs, and that's what happens. That's aspiration. So aspirating is really bad, and you do not want to do it. It is very dangerous and has a massive mortality rate. So we try to avoid that, and keeping people's stomachs empty is pretty much the best thing that you can do to get around aspiration and like lower your risk of that happening. So anyway, we have these like very set guidelines for how long people can not eat or drink, and like without fail, people find a way to screw these things up. Where are you headed? Alright, we're gonna go talk to Mogdrigen. So yeah, we're trying to figure out like how far we can realistically push this. So like part of the confusion is things like I mentioned coffee with a ton of cream, right? So one of the typical guidelines is you don't want anybody to have anything. So like solid food is supposed to be 8 hours. Technically, you can have a light meal, which is like, you know, no protein or like minimal protein, low fat, small, that sort of thing, like 6 hours before your procedure. But a full meal is 8 hours. Breast milk is 4 hours for babies. Well, hopefully for babies. And then clear liquids is 2 hours. So the clear liquids is really where you start to lose people, because people have like orange juice with pulp in it, or coffee with cream, and you know they have like a freaking Starbucks macchiato or some shit like that. That does not comply. It's like 1,000 calories, guys. That's not gonna work. But yeah, we try to set people up for success by just being extremely conservative with these guidelines. Being like, yeah, you can't eat for 15 hours or whatever. Or just saying, like, you can't have anything to eat or drink for 8 hours. Because that's the easiest thing. And usually we say, like, after midnight. Just don't eat or drink after midnight. People can generally follow that. It works out well. So we are concerned that there will be a lot more, like, day of surgery cancellations because people, like, fuck up the guidelines when they're trying to follow them. So, yeah. And then, like I said, we're pretty worried that we're gonna get some dysfunctional IVs that we won't really be able to detect very easily. Like, until we actually try to anesthetize the patient and find out that their IV doesn't work. It's just like pumping shit into their arm and not into their bloodstream. Oh my good god. Yeah, that's fun. Oh, don't die, don't die. Man, this guy. I don't know what he's doing, but I do not have very good resistance to it. Oof. Brutal. So yeah, other fun news, my son's class, so my son's 8 years old, or almost 8, yes. There's been this, like, continuous, like, lice infestation in his class, and I don't know what the hell to do about it, because there's, like, there aren't a lot of things in this life that legitimately gross me out, but bug infestations on humans is definitely one of them. So, like, scabies, bed bugs, lice, those things are horrifying to me. And I want to bring a flamethrower to any situation that involves them. Like, anytime I take care of a patient that has, like, scabies or lice or anything, I'm, like, frantically scrubbing my arms, you know, outside in the surgical scrub, trying to just, like, wash off the bad humors and the demons that come with doing that. Oh, man, I can't handle it. Cannot handle it, but, like, every time it's, like, we get an email from the school, you know, they spam us pretty hard, honestly. They send an email out that's like, there's a case of strep throat in the class, there's a case of the flu, there's somebody has a cold, like, all this, you know, all these things are emails that we get hit with. And, oh god. Wow, that guy was really strong. Maybe I should do my level up. Are there things that I want to level? Alright. Boop boop. Happy birthday, thanks man. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream. Sorry, I have a weird coloration on my restream chat. It's all white right now for some reason. How's it going? It's actually my birthday tomorrow. Oh, and I get to celebrate by... Well, actually, I won't be working tomorrow. But I do get to be on call Friday and Sunday. Yay. I need to change that font color, I guess. Because I can't see shit. Yeah, I changed that for, It's going well? Good. I changed the font color for the, what am I trying to say? Tabletop streams. But, white on white is not doing me any favors. Yeah, be sure to just kicking everyone in the ass. Yes. Yes, it is. How are you guys dealing with it by chance? We haven't, like I was saying, we haven't fully, converted to, like, we're not on double secret probation yet for our IV fluid use, but, that's coming next week. I don't know what the holdup is, frankly, but, like, our fluid allocation, I think, right now is at 60% of normal, and it's gonna go up to, or it's supposed to go up to 70% at the end of the month. And, we haven't felt the pinch just yet. I think they're being pretty permissive with the operating room. I think it's probably more gonna be for, like, you know, people just in the hospital that they're really trying to conserve. And, like, making people's lives difficult. But Baxter says back to capacity in 2 months. Yeah, I heard January 1st was their goal. Which is pretty ambitious, really. And I think they have a bunch of international facilities that they're, like, working on. They're kind of, like, ramping up to try to supply the US a little bit better. Buying all the empty bags? Interesting. Sometimes you get enough 1 liter bags, sometimes you need to make them? How do you make them? That's an interesting thought. Seriously? I need to change that background. I don't know how I do that, though. How am I gonna do that? Colorized author names. Mexico facility. Yeah, I think it's like mostly Mexico and Canada. Hospital is gonna have you fill up empty bags from the sink and sterilize them. Just throw it in the autoclave, man. It'll be fine. Everybody loves 180-degree fluid, right? What do I... I have no idea how I changed the appearance of this initially. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. I am doubtful that it will be smooth. Because I think basically people just won't be diligent enough to test their patients' IVs. Like, the anesthetist won't test their patients' IVs before they go back into the OR. And, they'll fail. They'll either be clotted or just not in the right place to begin with, so... it might suck. It might suck a lot. And that's, you know, on the back end, that's gonna really make my life kind of difficult, because I'll have to show up and, you know, quickly start an IV for somebody if they can't get one for whatever reason. That's just, like, more time that I have to be somewhere at that particular time. Not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it. But, you know, it's a pretty temporary thing. So hopefully we pull out of it. And like I said, I think the hospitals, at least in our case, is pretty forgiving with what we're gonna use. They're like, yeah, you know, we'll let the operating room do their thing. And then everybody else is kind of like maybe getting scrutinized a little harder. Okay, so I need to figure out how to do this. Why is appearance not where I go to change the appearance? Okay, that is not what I had in mind. I don't really need the code for restream chat. I don't know what to do with that anyway. Is this what I want, perhaps? Background opacity? No. Well, I'm sure this is riveting content for everybody, so I'm probably just gonna move on. I'm good. We'll figure it out. I'll just eat it. No worries. I know our anesthetists were like losing their minds today. I think they just found out, because we had a like hospital-wide meeting this morning about what to do about fluids. And I think they sent out a, you know, just sort of like FYI type email. And the anesthetists were like hoarding flush syringes and stuff. They have like all these boxes of them in like our anesthesia lounge, and you know, just like mass hysteria, right? Also stocking up on toilet paper and beans and all of those sorts of things. There we go. Ooh, rare heavy shoulders. Yeah, everybody is not happy about that. Oh yeah, so my son's class has lice. I forgot I was talking about that. And that's real freaky. My wife bought like a lice comb and is like, do not touch your friends' heads. Ever. Ever touch your friends. They will kill you. Their lice will eat you alive from your scalp down.
Can't do that yet.
And I can't disagree. That is how that works, after all. But yeah, we keep thinking it's like dealt with, and we've known a couple of the people whose, you know, kids have had lice, and they're like, yeah, this is really gross. We're handling it, hopefully. It just keeps popping back up. And it's different kids every time. But it's so hard to control. Like, if you've ever seen how you know, lower school works, like all the kids just put all of their shit on top of everybody else's. Like all the backpacks and coats and stuff are all just like, you know, in this long like row, you know, that they're all like touching each other. So if one kid's contaminated, basically they all are. So it's just a matter of like delaying the inevitable, essentially, as much as possible, and hoping you dodge it. Wow, that was crazy easy. Why was that so easy?
That skill's not ready.
Yeah, kids are nasty little creatures, man. It's like my kid goes to this pretty affluent private school, and you know, still we have like a lice infestation. They just like find a way. They're constantly finding ways to be gross. Ooh, hello.
Please just leave me alone out here.
Stay back. I don't have time for this. Shove him in a rift gate. Get back to town, jerk. Shut up. Yeah, I'm not quite as nervous about this as my wife is. Like, she is super freaked out about the potential of my son getting lice. But I think I would lose my mind if it came into our house. I would just like shave my head and, you know, lock myself in a room, not talk to anybody, not touch anyone for like 2 years. Just like wait for it to blow over, and hopefully when I come out, the zombie apocalypse is finished. And there won't be bugs on anybody. Oh.
I can't do that.
Ooktabog. Ow, ow! That looked like a really good build. But I didn't have time to look at it before these guys decided to ruin our party. So I found on Reddit a really interesting tool for... it's basically just like a volunteer compilation of physician salaries. So, as most of you probably are aware, collective bargaining is illegal for physicians because the American Hospital Association has a lot of money, and they lobbied to make it so. But we can sort of climb back out of that through, you know, kind of indirect and anonymous cooperation, such as this. Looks like I'm in a good place for right now. Let me see if I can find it. It actually got served to me as a, like, suggested link from the anesthesiology Reddit. 22F nurse have a crush on 28 resident? Okay, well, we're gonna read that first. Yes, we are. Introduce himself. We've said hi to each other a few times. I left this hospital and never got to see him again. Oh. Last time I saw him was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh, honey, he doesn't remember you. He doesn't remember, like, to put both of his socks on. He's a resident. He's working like 1 billion hours a week. Would residents even consider dating a night shift nurse? Like, why not? What what does that mean? Oh god. Okay, well that was not nearly as interesting as I hoped. Okay, we are going to anesthesiology. Anonymous salary sharing. Here we go. So I did my part here. I will share this in chat for anybody who's interested. Twitch chat, actually. I guess, I probably ought to get Streambot so I can have, like, a universal chat. And I don't have my YouTube chat open because YouTube's live service is really weird for streamers. Maybe I should look at that, though. Yeah, well, whatever. But anyway, this is awesome. I'm gonna open this from my Gmail, because they, like, once you fill out your information, they just send you the, like, access to the salaries. So, I do not believe this has any information that will dox me, not that I'm difficult to find. So there. So this is interesting. I mean, you know, there's always MGMA data, but that's sort of hard to get sometimes. And the newest MGMA data that I have is like 3 years old now, so it's substantially less useful than it was at one point. Here's some folks in Durham making 550. Let's see, pathology. So it's pretty sparse for specialties that are not anesthesia. For anesthesia, it is great. Could certainly be better, though, for sure. Right, there's only, how many? 500 listings-ish. So this tells you what you can expect to make, right? So this is emergency medicine. Emergency medicine's still doing pretty well, despite the fact that private equity is trying really, really hard to wreck the specialty as a whole. And they're also getting squeezed out by mid-level practitioners, because people use the emergency room so stupidly that a lot of what they do can be done by mid-level. Frankly, a lot of what the emergency medicine docs do can be done by a nurse practitioner, I should say. Because people show up with, like, a cold, or need a pregnancy test, or have a bug bite, or just a bunch of dumb shit like that. And that is not worth a physician's time. The overwhelming majority of the time. Look at this guy, critical care medicine, $760,000 a year? How the hell does that happen? Damn. 815? $49 hours a week? What? How is that possible? Yeah, of course, one of the failing points of a self-reported database is that there's no filter for bullshit, right? So anybody who gets a hold of this and just feels like spoofing the whole thing and writing crazy nonsense can. I mean, I think generally the population that they're advertising these links to is probably interested in contributing positively, but it really only takes like a couple people to totally screw this up beyond repair. But at least for now, it's interesting food for thought. So anesthesia is kind of nice because it's the only specialty that I'm aware of that has a fairly, like, public and well-known job search site. Uh, so, like, you can kind of get this information just from that. So, this is a little on the redundant side, maybe? But obviously that is not a compendium of all jobs that exist, and this is a really useful thing for everybody to have. You know, if you had thousands of data points in this, you just organize this thing by location and go to town, you know, and you've instantly got, you know, however many instances of people in your state, or maybe even in your, I mean, it's like by city, so maybe even in your city. I guess it just depends on what you type in, right? Oh, I thought it required you to type a city, because I put my city in there. I put Kansas City in. $1 million a year. 10 plus years. Damn. And where are they? Fairfield, Connecticut, making $1 million, huh? So maybe he's in, that's his equity share? 40 hours a week, no call? What? What? That's bonkers. But yeah, I hope people contributed to this and, you know, get a bigger database going. See, this just makes this is sad. This makes me sad. $270,000, man. That is not worth the hassle of going through med school and residency, and the opportunity cost, and the actual cost. I thought neurology made more than that, though. Honestly, I thought neurology was like in the 400s. Look at this guy. Killing it in frickin' psych. I feel like psychiatry is a field that you could really, really do well for yourself if you just do, like, small private practice. And, like, just get paid hourly. Primary care. Ugh. $620,000 a year. In Shreveport? That's pretty impressive. Family practice, working 40 hours, making 600 grand, huh? Their base is 550? Not bad. Not bad at all. Assuming it's true, of course. I wish there was, like, a little bit of identifying information so you could track these people down and be like, what the hell are you doing to make $600,000 a year in family practice? What's this? Surgery? I guess they don't specify what kind of surgery. Ortho hand, 950 in Boston. Okay. Well, they're doing all right for sure. Look at all these anesthesiologist assistants, man. This is a cheat code. I swear it's a cheat code. AA school is freaking awesome. I mean, look at that. 200 to 250. No sweat, man. For a 2.5-year master's degree. That is the shit. 250 an hour. Man. I wish I had known about that in college. Or in high school, really. Known that this was a career. This was a thing that exists. I don't dislike where I am for sure, but this is crazy. Here's CRNA, same deal. but AA schools, like, you don't have to do the nursing thing, and you don't have to yeah, work the extra time. There's a lot of filler in the nursing route. Damn, there's a lot of... Wow, they must have posted this to... Huh. Must have posted this to a couple, like, mid-level forums. I swear, every stream I get a bunch of kick spam. I mean, I guess that shouldn't surprise me, because kick is like the Wild West of streaming, essentially, right? Oh, I just noticed that Good Gosh Darn subscribed again for 30 straight months. That's insane. He did that 4 days ago, so I missed it, but... Very cool. Appreciate your support, dude, if you're watching. One of these days it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it to you. But yeah, so if you haven't contributed to that, maybe it'll be a useful thing to have a look at here before too long. The internet's a wonderful place for that sort of stuff, like crowdsourcing information. Like, if you get a bunch of people who, you know, like what you're doing, you can really put together a useful knowledge base very fast. So if anybody's watched those the tabletop game streams, I'd be interested to see what you're thinking about those. I have fun doing them, but there's like zero chat involvement. It's basically background noise for anybody who chooses to tune in. And I think the current game that I've been playing, which is Arkham Horror, is too small to really like understand what's going on. Like, you can't really see the cards and read the text and stuff. But I think it might be... So, I don't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons, but I listen to a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons. The internet is both wonderful and terrifying. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I mean, the downside to the ability to crowdsource tons of information is that you can pretty much do the exact opposite and just, like, say a bunch of random shit and it eventually becomes true. or accepted as true, I should say. Like, as long as you get a big enough following, you can just, like, push through anything. But, yeah. I try not to do that. Den of Caraxus. That sounds ominous. Let's go in. But yeah, I'm hoping to... So actually tomorrow, like, my birthday celebration is basically just having a couple dudes over and playing nerdy-ass board games. Having some beers and eating food. I'm old. That's what I do. That is fun to me. Just, like, not having a small human hanging on me, asking me for things all the time sounds amazing. But yeah, hopefully most other games are a little bit more visible. I am, however, going to have to, like, reconstruct my streaming setup. Because I had, this is, like, the most irresponsible, stupid thing ever, but I had my, I had a series of 3 cameras, so I had 2, Elgato face cams, and then a Facecam Pro, along with a microphone, and all of them were hanging from a gas line. Because that, like, the gas line just happens to be, like, the exact middle of the table that I play on. I have this, like, really nice custom gaming table that is ludicrously heavy. I think it probably weighs, like, 500 pounds or something. So moving it around isn't really an option. But anyway, gas line is, like, right over the middle of it. And I just hung stuff from it, because gas lines are... you know, they're pretty inert, really, honestly. It sounds terrible, and it probably is not the smartest thing to do, but nothing's gonna happen. But anyway, we had to have some gas line work done where, like, I think, like, that particular gas line I think was newer, but some of the older ones were, like, original to the house. This is like a 105-year-old house. So, like, old-ass gas lines that are kind of, like, corroding and stuff, and basically we had to have all those replaced. And, the guy who did it, was like, you know, I'll just go through and, like, seal and, like, paint and seal all your other pipes and stuff while I'm at it. So we had to take down all of my streaming setup. So I'm gonna figure out how that works now, which is perhaps gonna be a bit of a challenge because the, like, OBS is set up to detect, like, certain cameras, like, from certain USB cables. And I made the error of not labeling those. Like, I labeled them at the computer side, not thinking that I would ever have to worry about disconnecting them at the, like, you know, camera side or the microphone side. So I'll have to figure out which things go where and, like, trace them from the computer back to the device, which is maybe gonna be a little challenging because it's like it's how to describe it. So it's like a 10-foot run, or a little more than that, from the computer back to the device, and the devices are hanging from the ceiling. So they're like running up and then like over via hooks and then hanging down. So I'll have to kind of like get up on a ladder and trace each one by hand. And I'm not really looking forward to that. But that's okay. Once I figure that out, it'll hook back up pretty smoothly, I think, because all of the cameras are still in like their right configuration and stuff. And they're on these cool mounts. By the way, if you need a flexible mount, here, we're gonna check this out because these things are awesome. Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna risk doxing myself with this too. Of course. Let's see, I'm looking at all my old orders. This thing. These are awesome. If you need to mount a webcam, holy shit, these are good. Like, a lot of... If you read the reviews, which we will do here in just a second, they're, like, pretty much all the complaints are about how stiff this, like, support is. Like, you can't just reach out and twist it, which I think is a selling point, personally. I think that's amazing, but they're right. Like, you have to hold it with one hand and then, like, bend it with another. Because there's no way... And this clamp is really strong. Like, this is a pretty stiff clamp down here. But there's no way that you can move this the way you want it to without torquing that clamp off. Or, like, fucking up your furniture or something because of the clamp. So, like, you've got to hold it with one hand and then bend with the other. But your camera is going to stay exactly where you put it. No questions asked. And this is 2 feet long, which is super, super nice. Because you can, like, bend it around and put the camera at, like, weird angles, which is great for me, because that's what I needed. I needed a way to, like, clamp it on, you know, directly overhead. And... that's hard to do because all cameras kind of mount from the bottom like this. Like, for some reason, they don't have mounts at the back. Like, it'd be great if they just put a, you know, a screw tap in the back of the camera so you could just either put it in like this or, like, mount it vertically, like, on the back of it. I don't know why they don't do that, but... Anyway, I had to figure out a way to, like, flex things, and it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard to come across this, actually. And I almost didn't buy it because all the reviews were like, ah, it's really hard to use. I think it's good reviews. The gooseneck is very strong, not as bendable as the pic shows. I mean, it is. It's just fucking hard to do. Yeah, like if you read these, like every single one talks about how it's difficult to use. Which I think what makes it difficult for them to use makes it easier for me to use, so. Screw you guys, you're wrong. Oogdenbog. Wait a second. I want to make sure I get all of the shrines as I go through. Because those are a real pain in the ass to miss. Wait, did I just, like, blast through the entire... Yeah, I sure did. Wow, cool. Okay, maybe I'll go get the Ogden Bog. Rift, I guess? No, this is not Last Epoch. This is Grim Dawn, actually. Which is another very good action RPG. If you can't tell, it's based off the Titan Quest engine, because it's made by, I think, most of the developers of Titan Quest, actually. Yeah, this is a super good game. And interestingly enough, like, the developers, maybe a couple years back, probably like 2 years ago, like literally announced that they were letting this game die and like gonna stop updating it, and then they came out with this like massive update, and then they came out with another massive update like 6 months after that. It was really cool, and I think they've continued to support it. Like, I don't think that there's... You know, now that I'm thinking about it, there might be an expansion in the works. Like a third one. There's already 2 expansions. Third expansion announced. Look at that. Fangs of Asterkarn. Very cool. Next year, 2024. Well, I don't think it's come out yet, so... Wah wah. Yeah, definitely a really good game. It's solely single player. So there's no, like, economy or anything to worry about. And no internet connection to worry about either, if that's a concern. Probably not if you're following a stream on YouTube, but, you know. Figured I would point that out for anybody who may be watching who's wondering. Yeah, I think it's very playable. It's, if you like interactive combat a little bit more than, like... So, like, on one end of the spectrum, you have Path of Exile, where it's just, like, blast shit as fast as humanly possible, right? And then... This is probably pretty close to the opposite end of that spectrum, where, you know, boss fights require you to move around a whole bunch, and there's some mechanics to learn, and you've got, like, you know, you've got a long fight ahead of you. It's not just about, like, DPS stacking and just going to town. I mean, you can do that, I think. I've never tried to min-max a character in this game, actually, but... But yeah, the combat definitely feels a lot, like, hardier, I guess, more involved. And generally, you're using more abilities. Like, I've got, what? I use all of these. So 1, 2, 3, and this is, or, well, this is just kind of a constant thing. That's those, like, whirling blades that are standing around me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is a passive skill. Whereas with Last Epoch, it's, like, very often a one-button build sort of situation. I think there's a Titan's Quest 2 coming out soon, right? Thought I heard that as well. That'd be pretty cool. I never played Titan's Quest, though. Or Titan Quest. I mean, if it's like this, I would probably enjoy it pretty well. Saw that there's a freaking shrine here. I need to get it. Where you at, shrine? Let's see if I can figure that out. You know, I've played through this a bunch of times, but every time I do it, Moonwall Drift. Okay, so I'm real far away, and I missed a rift gate, didn't I? Well, I'm glad I looked that up. But yeah, I never remember where all this crap is. One interesting thing about this game is there's a lot of hidden areas and like secrets and random stuff that you can do. Like a lot of times when you see something like this, there'll be a way to like walk through it somehow. Like you can rotate your camera and it'll be a pathway that you can't really see from the standard view. Something like that. There's actually like this, the hidden path, this mission has lots of those in it. Like you've got to travel all across the world to find these different locations and stuff to complete that quest. Which I should probably do at some point. Oop, take that. So yeah, we'll see how my reassembly of my streaming setup goes. Ideally, I'd like to do that tomorrow, but we'll see. Kids have a funny way of destroying what free time you think you might have. So. And I think my daughter's sick. My daughter's like almost 2. And so she might be difficult tomorrow. We'll see. She's actually been pretty chill about it so far. But alright, devotion point. Do I want that, or do I want to start this other... Oh, it requires a sword, that's right. So my goal is to get that constellation. So these all give you like points that you can spend to upgrade which constellations you can get. So like you start here, you get 1 point to put in, you know, whatever. So I went this way, got this turtle. So I have like a cheat death kind of thing. So like whenever I get to 50% health, it just casts this thing that absorbs a shitload of damage. But when you complete this, when you put all the points here, then I get 2 of the white and 3 blue. And so like this one requires just 1 white. And then I get 3 purple and 2 white. And this one requires 6 purple and 4 white. And like the more powerful ones, which are on the perimeter, like this one requires 12 purple, 6 white, 8 blue. And then this one is the one that I want to go to ultimately. And so I need the 3 more purple and one more white, but this gives 3 and 2. So I'm gonna get this cluster here. But it's not gonna do anything because I don't have a sword. So fuck me, I guess. But that's okay. So I will definitely be looking for swords. I wonder if I have any. Can I change? That's a dagger. Also a dagger. Sword. Cool. Alright, well, I'm a long ways off from making that transition, I guess. But I need 5 more points to really make that constellation go. And that's sort of a stop off anyway. Perhaps the heart of Caraxus will change your mind.
It appears that perhaps we can be of use to each other after all.
Must find a way to
Very
Malmuth.
well. Speak. If you seek a path to Malmuth through the swamps, then I am afraid you are out of luck. The roads have all but collapsed, and even if you should somehow find your way out of the bog, the land beyond has been consumed by aether fire. Ancient passageways exist that could take you north. They are not of this realm, and you will not like where they lead.
Name was
Ulgrim, I
Ulgrim.
say.
Freaking Ulgrim, man. I'm trying to chase this dude across the freaking world.
Legend. But if he was claimed by the void, then... What you ask will take me some time to prepare. But before I help you, there is something you must do for us. Deep within Ugdenbog, to the north of our refuge, there lies a village by the name of Barrowholm. I need you to travel there. I care not for the village, only for what was stolen.
Alright. We will go to Barrowholm through Ugdenbog. What did you have in mind? Let's see. I suspect that something has happened to our future sisters. I will find the sisters. I sure will. Ooh, I'll take your chest. Excellent. Wait, I feel like there's more to this place. Oh, by the way, if anybody watched that, I was just thinking about the game of Arkham Horror, the card game that we played in my previous stream. When was that? Saturday, maybe? Yeah, I think it was Saturday. In any event, we're playing Arkham Horror, and it's one of those, the games, it's like a cooperative game against the computer, against the game. And man, we were doing really well in this one scenario, and then we just got rocked. Like, as we were on a train, and, like, sort of as the scenario progresses, the train cars get sucked into this, like, you know, like, rift gate sort of thing, basically. Like, there's this huge hole in the sky to another dimension, and the train's getting slowly sucked into it. And we're moving along. We're like, yeah, okay, it's just like sucking one car into, you know, into the hole at a time, and we're moving, we're making progress. It's cool. And then we came across a card that was like, it sucks 2 cars in. We're like, oh, that's probably not good. We better keep going. And so we kept going, and then we got another card that had procced and sucked 2 cars in and sucked us in with it. So that was instant game over. But like I felt like we were rolling for most of the game, and it just died. It's just over entirely. It's so bad. Well, it's fun though. That game just gets you. Yeah, definitely looking forward to playing more stuff on that table. That'll be fun. Slowly regaining my life from toddlerhood. Venomier's bile.
Have you come to pay your respects, mortal?
So I have an IV infusion business, and one of my friends is texting me about it. So I'm sending her a menu, or I'm trying to send her a menu. Why is this so cumbersome? There we go. Speaking of which, that business is hardcore on standstill from the fluid shortage. I can't even order. Like they won't even let me order. Like I'm not a big enough entity to get any fluids allocated to me. They're just like, nah, nah, we're saving everything for hospitals and like big clinics and stuff. I get everything else, just can't get fluid. So we have a couple cases of fluid here, but that portion of the business is just straight up on hold. Avatar of Mogdrogen. That's an awesome business to be in, by the way. If you're willing to push it hard and like really sell out, you can make an absolute shitload of money. Especially through the like weight loss stuff, the GLP-1 agonists, and Botox too, really. All the things that like bring in recurring customers, it's nuts, man. You just make money hand over fist. We're still getting started, like building a client base, but we're well on the way to profitability after 2 months of doing this. So, yeah, it's not bad. Savage wilderness of the ancient grove is dear to me. I'll deal with your problem. I'm gonna go cleanse the corruption. Business as usual. One bad thing about owning a business is you get an absolutely insane amount of spam. Like email spam, call spam. I probably get 3 to 5 phone calls a day from just random, telemarketer stuff that's trying to get me to like maximize my Google business listing and all this crap. Just like, go away. Stop calling me. What's my acid resistance? Oh, very good. Cool. Alright. I'll take that. Seems like a good thing to have maxed out right at the moment. Considering there's green shit raining down on me.
I can't do that yet.
So yeah, I guess you could say I have a personal stake in this fluid situation. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much, really. We don't do a whole lot of IVs. And as I was saying, business hasn't really picked up yet, so this is just kind of a side thing that it's me and 3 nurses that my partner, and a partner, like another doc. So it's the 2 of us and then 3 nurses. And we just kind of like mess around. And my personal involvement, so like I did this with my wife like 6 years ago. And we shut down like right before the pandemic, just kind of coincidentally, because our insurance was going to get really, really expensive just because insurance companies suck. And they were like, yeah, you know, we're just going to make your insurance more expensive. We're like, great. That's perfect. So, they did that, and we decided that, like, instead of ramping up, kind of like doubling down and trying to make that expense worthwhile, that we just stopped entirely. And then, like, 3 months later, the pandemic hit, so we were like, well, shit, that was a good idea. It worked out very well. So, it's basically been shelved, this whole, like, mobile IV clinic thing has been shelved since then, with the exception of a few, like, regular customers who wanted Botox, and, yeah, you know, we would just kind of do it for shits and giggles and pocket change from friends and stuff, like, we weren't really making much money off of it, but anyway, this guy that I'm working with now, who's one of my partners at work as well, he was like, yeah, I will totally support you guys and take care of this. So he's the guy who the insurance is under, and he's kind of functionally the point man, but I have all of the, like, credentials and stuff. Like, I still own the business and have all of the purchasing accounts and, like, my name's on everything. He just has the insurance. He's the guy with malpractice insurance. So, like, the deal was basically that, you know, we're gonna be 50-50, and, like, I just don't do anything. Like, I do what I can in my spare time and, like, you know, in downtime at work and stuff, as far as just maintaining our website and, like, social media stuff and things like that. Occasionally generating leads, contacting businesses and things, you know, just getting, like, outreach sort of stuff taken care of. But as far as being patient facing, like, my involvement is virtually zero. Then also I didn't put any cash down to get this restarted either. That was part of the deal. I'm not gonna read all the lore. I love the lore to this game. If you're unfamiliar with it, the lore is very Call of Cthulhu based. So it's like real heavy Lovecraft influence. So it is dark and horrifying and amazing. Like, let's see. Both of them sick. There's like people leaving their friends behind. Like, that was when the noises started. Fraser said he didn't hear none of it. I could make it out loud and clear. Massive hideous figure. So Fraser just got, like, eaten alive, dude. Bummer. Yeah, definitely super dark and worth reading. And I will go back and read them. Ooh. Items. Excellent. So yeah, we're hoping to ramp things up. And the nice thing about the business is that like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that's very high, like profit margin is really good, and there's a lot of recurring business that's sort of like mandatory recurring business, because like people who get Botox want their Botox to continue working. And people who get GLP-1 agonists want their weight loss to continue, and so they keep calling you. And there's just like nowhere else to get this stuff, and we're basically the cheapest outfit in town. And the only one run by anesthesiologists, that is to say people who know what they're doing. So it's like you just have to get people in the door, basically. It's just an exposure issue. And all of the nurses, like all 3 nurses that we work with are like freaking amazing. They're like the best nurses that we've run into. Oh, it requires a skeleton key, you bastards. Do I have a skeleton key? I'll use it. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. I was about to turn around. Because I have a skeleton key. But yeah, that's one of the nice things about being an anesthesiologist is you know who all the good nurses are. You see them real quick. It's like you work with them all the time, and pre-op and PACU nurses generally are really good. Like 2 of them, so of the ones we work with, 2 of them are pre-op nurses, who also sort of work in PACU occasionally. And PACU is the post-anesthesia care unit, by the way. That's what PACU stands for. Oh. Well, that was a poor use of a skeleton key. Bummer. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Oh well. Let's see. Can I go make another one? I don't think I have any blood of Chthon. I don't think I have the crafting materials for it. Poop. No, that sucks. Anyway.
I'll give you a good
2 of them are pre-op nurses and 1's an OB nurse, and they're all freaking amazing. They're great. I will. Let's see. The Emissary's Rift. I don't want to go back there. I already did that. Okay, so I got that, but then I didn't get the Hooked and Pock Rift. Bummer, dude. Oh yeah, I guess I just kind of went down to the ancient. Yeah, so that's not that big. I gotta find all those sisters too, right?
I sense turmoil within you. Stay strong.
Eh. I'll leave my stuff like it is. I pivoted pretty hard as to like how exactly I want this character to be built. Not too long ago, actually. Like 10 levels ago, so I already had like 48 levels of points into stuff that, you know, I still want, but isn't necessarily ideally done. You guys, your curses. always forget where those sisters are. Nope, what was that? Oh, I wonder if that's... No, that's not leading me towards where I just was. It's over here. There we go. Who dat? Oh, just some rotting corpse. No big deal. Outside of someone's house. Genaxia. Oh, this is a boss, huh? Alright. Fair enough. Let's do it. Oof. That hurt. Nice. Give me your stuff, Genaxia. I don't think she didn't give me anything like unique to her, so I wonder if I was kind of thinking maybe that was like a quest thing, but perhaps not. Ooh, that's an angry looking dude. Titanium steel skin. That was cool. It's a really pretty looking area. Not sure I've ever taken the time to like look at all the art. And... Wow, it's pretty cool. Not bad for an old ass game that's not really focusing on art detail so much. Maybe that's what makes it notable. Oh yeah, I think there's a big baddie in there, as I recall. Hey, you stop that. Destroy the barricade. Kind of want to get the waypoint first, though. Ah! And I am not above looking up where that is. Whoops. That's not really what I did do, but that's okay. In Bog Rift. Okay, yeah, so it's way over here. Yeah. Excellent. I can do that. Yay! Nice little level up. I'll take care of that in just a minute. I guess I have to... That's going to require more points in soldier. To look at our build. Let's see exactly what I was planning on doing. Oogden Bloom. Oh, there's the rift. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh man, I was pushing soldier all the way to the end, huh? Do I want to do that? Yeah, I guess I kind of do. Oleron's rage is really good. I mean, is it better than just pumping this, though? This, even? Or this? Yeah, I guess it probably is. Extra physical and pierce damage, both of which I use. Man, that's so many points to, like, not really increase all that much. I guess this is pretty good, though. Okay, we'll at least get up to that. Alright. I'm actually pretty tired, so I think I'm gonna call it there. That's boring. I thought I had more energy than that. Oh well. Well, I will not be on Sunday, but, because I'm on call, so that's fun. Happy birthday to me. But, you guys take it easy. I'll be on when I can. Probably Monday. I'll probably try to be on Monday, depending on how my call Sunday goes. But, in any event, y'all have a good rest of your week. I'm gonna have a kick-ass birthday, and, I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Thanks for joining me.